Welcome back to your favorite time again. You and I are going to be doom scrolling Twitteroonies. And I just want to start off by saying, friends, I've made a video earlier before we even doom scroll because, trust me, nothing we can find on the timeline is going to compare to the mega juicy, fat, Latina ass alpha. I'm just joking, friends. That is buried in this video. Do you understand? This is extremely critical to understanding the mysteries behind some sort of idea of how the borrowing and lending, pulse chain, asset treasury is going to play out and how a pDAI would work and why it would work. And I also want you to know, friends, generally, man, I spend so much time, friends. I'm pulling teeth to try get alpha or entertainment from a lot of the timeline. Like, I mean, you have, look at this stuff I've got to go through. Waifus. Oh, baby games. What is this? See what I mean? Like, oh gosh, you know, we're doing our best. We're doing our best. Check this out. Patty Ice. Big fan of chaos. When I see y'all losing your composure on the timeline, you just know I'm rooting for you in silence. Why did you change your profile picture? I sold. So, yeah, man, big fan of chaos. I guess they mean a lot of price volatility and stuff. Here, a lot of these friends, a lot of these Solana Trench dudes, though, by the way, Patty actually followed me, so shout out to Patty. When it comes to them, when they talk about, chaos and buy the dip, it's not your friend Sommi, long-term vision, multiple years, buying and believing, keeping your posture straight for as long as you can. It's not that type of belief. It's like they've got a 1 hour chart. I'm not even joking. They got like a 1 hour chart, mostly 15 minutes. And there's like, this coin was like, 20 million market cap and it's dipped down to like 13 million. They're like, chaos. And it's like within 1 day, you know what I mean? It's like, buy it to get out at 25 million market cap. It's nowhere near what we're doing. You understand, friends? We're just playing a totally different game, okay? Check this out. The Ethereum opportunity, SBET, all right? Check it out.
The crypto community has been about $4 trillion. There's about $100 trillion ready to be tokenized.
Interesting. So that is, friends, this is Joseph Shalom from SharpLink Gaming. That is the micro strategy of Ethereum. They're borrowing money like Michael Saylor and they're buying the meth out here. So let's check out what Johnny Mo has to say. This man was BlackRock's global head of digital assets strategy. The guy that launched IBIT. Interesting. That's the Bitcoin ETF. And before that, he was the Q of BlackRock Solutions. Joe Lubin poached him from BlackRock to lead SBET, SharpLink, after a 20-year career there. So he's talking about $100 trillion of real-world assets to be tokenized and come onto the chain. That's why, friends, I guess if Ethereum City and all the other layer 1 chains, there's all these money, stablecoin super cycle. It's the first thing we've got to get in there, right? Because everyone wants just a savings account and basic stuff there. That basically is raising the valuations for total cryptocurrency. That's also why, friends, whenever I cover my juicy news, we look at blockchain practice, fractals and everything. I'm like, man, I'm just a man who pegs his own nipples on the internet. And yes, I'm wearing a hat that says this hat stays on during sex, which is kind of funny because I'm a virgin. But when you're telling me it could all be over here, it's less than 4 trillion market cap, Habib. We've got to manifest to 10 trillion. I made my video on it for you. Like, it doesn't make sense, man. Like, but then again, doesn't make sense. But they're XRP maxes, by the way, you know what I mean? So I'm holding, all right? And you know what? If I have to hold for another 4 years, whatever. Here's a cute Pikachu sleeping on a Pokeball. Okay, friends, we're going to hypnotize ourselves to believe in a greater future. Check it out. This is the data for if you are married and own a home by the age of 30 in America. In 1950, 50% of people did it. Now it's only 12%. So they say, what happened? Obviously, cost of living happened, right? Assets, they're disconnected from the average real wage. So workers' wages since the 70s haven't caught up. Okay, so the assets have they're pretty much printing money. It's just what happens. I mean, welcome to how the central banks and all the non-human intelligence controlled reptilian scum, I don't know what they are, but it's just how the game works, man. They rob the population. That's why we made crypto because they do this. You don't have to go and complain every day. You can just literally move your fiat dollars, send it to an exchange, and come and hold crypto assets instead. You could just do that. That's what we've all done here instead of whinging like a little bitch every day. But That's why, friends, the people are riling up. They're riling up, man. That's that they really want to see some sort of change. It ain't happening, bro. You're getting robbed. The debt is big. Okay, so every generation of politicians comes in, they overspend. Okay, the GDP is not enough for them to grow. They kick the can down the road, and Uncle Bobby is our favorite uncle. So how do you avoid that? Well, remember, friends, you know, the average worker, they're getting paid 3% per year with the kippy. Your wage is only going up 3%. Assets are not growing at 3% per year. The S&P 500 is growing at 8%. Real estate is growing from 5 to 10%. So if you compound, if something's growing at 3% per year and you compound that for 30 years, compare that to something growing at just 5% per year for 30 years, there's a big gap. That's just 5%, by the way. The S&P 500 has been growing at like 8.5%, 9%. Right? And you know, Bitcoin's still growing at 60% per year. Right? And now that's your only chance to get in. You have to save in it, right? A lot of people don't have familiarity with stocks and crypto. They'll save up for a deposit and they throw their money into a house, which I guess it's okay. The problem is though, friends, I gotta like just give you some heads up of what the government is actually doing. Before they kill the system, right now they're killing the system. Killing the system means they're just going to run the money printer, okay? And you're going to get debased. You're getting debased right now, by the way. Everyone's getting debased. If you hold the fiat currency, you're getting debased. The only way out of it is to hold crypto for long term, okay? What governments are doing, there's some governments in the world, some treasuries and stuff out here. I just don't want to name the names because I don't want to spook anything. I don't want them to come after me. But they've accidentally let it slip what their long-term plan is. And their plan is they're inflating and they're keeping a bid on property because, friends, property is localized. You can't move your house like crypto, okay? So property is the easiest to tax. So just to let you know, friends, if you're owning real estate and everything out here, bad news for you, right? Okay. Long term, when the government keep running out of money, you're the first thing that gets taxed. You can't move. You have no say. You can't even prove it's not yours because it's got your name in your title and they know where you are. Okay. So that's the first thing they tax, property tax. Okay. And they just toggle that tax up over time. So they don't care that thing's inflating because the government's just like, oh, let's just inflate it now because we're going to raise the tax on these guys in 4 or 5 years because there's going to be another planned crisis. We're going to have to print money. Remember, friends, there's not enough immigration in countries. Like it's getting unsustainable levels, right? Where like local people in Poland and Croatia can't even get jobs. Like 16-year-olds can't even get jobs because they're just hiring Indian dudes who are working for like, you know, $4 an hour because there's like 7 of them that live in one room. You know what I mean? Just the supply of labor is basically just been flooding off everywhere, yeah? So that's why the system's going to crack somewhere later on. And now you get to see what happens. So that's the thing, right? That's why crypto is the best, okay? It can move around and that's why the government's going to have to tax the closest thing they can get their hands on, which is property. Now, I still, my friends, not financial advice, but if you make money in crypto, just like hedge yourself, do something with property, please, because you can't click out and sell in 2 seconds, but at least you have something as like a nest egg. Shout out to Mr. Feary's lying, pDAI to $1. This account goes from fudding pDAI to being bullish on pDAI literally every 6 hours. Quite the schizo. Shout out to Mr. McGuelly, DollarCostCrypto as well. Ask me anything out here from the Pulse Chain community and many other communities as well. So we do love you and appreciate you. Here is LibertySwap Finance. The final step is complete. A new user interface will be deployed to support the Solana bridge to Pulse Chain. We're ready to open the floodgates of liquidity and support traders moving from Soy to Pulse Chain. Okay, sweet. So there's a countdown, 23rd. Hopefully something happens. Don't know if anything's going to happen, but hopefully it does. They're just increasing the access points from all the chains. That's why it makes sense. Once all the infrastructure's open, then the big marketing happens. So people can just click on through. Here we have some guy commenting about the Fed. I was obviously memeing, but I think the Fed has lost credibility today. The inflation has been unanchored since before the 50 basis point cut. So I got so much vitriol for the take below, but if the FAIT is off the table tomorrow and 2% is re-anchored around, then the case for a hike is actually mispriced. I think what he's saying is inflation's quite sticky and the market is not giving any chance that the next rate moves might be a hike instead of a cut, which, I wonder how that will play out. Yeah, everyone has jitters and stuff. Friends, please remember, interest rates reflect the hotness of the economy, okay? High interest rates are there because you're strong. You don't want 0% interest rates, okay? People think they want it. You don't actually want that, bro. Because if you get that, that means everything's dead. That's zombie virus stuff. We had the worst crypto cycle ever then. Which is kind of funny. We're still having the worst cycle ever, actually. Here we have Louis from Sonic. Talk to me nicely or don't talk to me at all. So, friends, there's this bit like, friends, okay, I get it. You know, people store wealth in their hands. Watch it's a guy, dude thing. Before you blow your money on that stuff, man, just hook yourself up with real assets. You know what I mean? Like this, I can't, okay. A lot of the guys who, you know, they're comparing the watches. You're basically, you're going to Twink Nation on Friday night. It's very homoerotic. I've seen, when there's people, there's Discord groups. They're like, haha, look at my watch. Look at my watch. It's very, it's like, it's cringe beyond the cringe, man. It's really, really, really cringe. Like you can't, like the insecurity is just like, just beaming out of you, right? But there's this meme picture that's circulating everywhere. This guy tried to rank watches and how important you are. If you have a Richard Mille, you're filthy rich. If you have a poop, you're old money king. If you have a Rolex, you'll want to be rich. And then someone's put it here, the Casio watch. You are a Sonic holder. So, yeah, man, I might buy myself a Casio watch for about $9 when we're done. That's my present to me. You gotta understand, man. Like, there's nothing more pathetic. By the way, have you seen how billionaires dress? Have you seen what they do? Go look at them. Go look at the cars in their driveway. Because when you're a billionaire, you're like, oh, I can do anything in the world. Therefore, my time is really scarce. I don't want to worry about driving my exotic car 3.5 hours away, getting some dude to spend a week on it because he's got to import a freaking windshield from like somewhere in like bum truck Italy to come bring it down. Like this car gets fixed everywhere. I don't give a crap. You know, but when you're an insecure little Jeep TikTok brainwash generation kid who's getting rugged by Kanye West on Soy Lana, you think if you were rich, you would let the whole world know. Yeah, exactly. That whole mentality of if you're rich, you would let the whole world know is exactly why you're poor right now. Abundance mindset. Shout out to Mr. FastingGod. I've watched Richard Hart's last 3 public appearances, and he keeps repeating the same line. I care about the ETH price more than everyone else. Do you want to know why someone really cares about ETH? Because they've got targets in mind for when they'll sell. Phew. Another interpretation to add. Thank you very much, sir. We know when he says, I care about ETH price, it means I have a shitload of Ethereum. Like a lot. He actually said in one comment, friends, he goes, newsflash, I care about Ethereum's price more than Vitalik. Friends, he's really smart. He knows how to say something so that retardios, like, okay, friends, I love you, Pulse Chain, Core Coin, Maxis, I love you, but this is a perfect example. So you would say, oh, if Richard wanted to tell us he has more Ethereum than Vitalik, he would just say it. No, why does he have to say it? He already told you in another way, right? It's this open code Japanese army language. He goes, I care about Ethereum's price more than Vitalik. He said it without saying it. I'm just helping you, you know what I mean? By the way, friends, I know no one's going to react to any of this stuff until the price goes up. I've seen this 1,000 of times. That's why I have no frustration. I don't care. I know the market. That's it. I've been here 18 hours a day, man. Here we have Dr. Hexologist. There are 5 different ways to win a court case. Which one did Richard Hart, Hex, and Pulse Chain get again? From best to worst. I love yous. Thank you for the coverage. I mean this, friend. I'm coming from a place of love. No one cares. No one cares. Ivan doesn't talk about it. No one cares about the court case of legals. Literally no one cares. Just care about the prices, you know. But you know, when you're like a core coin maxi, because you don't deviate away from Richard Hart stuff, you got nothing else to really talk about. You know what I mean? It's like there's 100 people in a room, 98 don't care, and there's like one guy saying, "Oh, but the SEC thing," and then like everyone spends all their time trying to convince this person that we beat the SEC. No one cares, bro. Guys, you know what they care about? They care about the fact that Hex BTC is down 90% and Hex's break-even point is now $1.65. That's what everyone cares about. Do you want to know what Ivan cares about? He's looking at the pulse to soy ratio and it hasn't flipped green on the weekly super trend. That's what he cares about. We all know it. You know, we're just waiting for glory and friendship. Shout out to LibertySwap Finance as well. Behind the scenes, countless tasks have been completed and seamlessly released by Release a Bot on Pulse Chain's GitLab. The best is yet to come. Many surprises are waiting. Thank you to Mr. Hex Jam Hex for retweeting this, sir. We love your art. We love all your great stuff out here. And they were replying to Richard Hart, who said go.hex.com has just become lightning fast. That's wonderful to see. So LibertySwap Finance making big moves. You know, so it's just... At this point, friends, we've said everything we need to say. You know what I mean? You flash a green candle in someone's face, they're going to know. Altcoin Sherpa. I'm going to be hiking all day tomorrow and AFK while gigalong on perps with a highly volatile macro day incoming. Let's gamble. Look, you won't understand what I'm talking about, but everybody who's punted crypto knows what we're talking about. Everyone loves the car drive that's long when you're leveraged long or short because you don't have to watch the market. Because your phone's closed and you just drive. Everyone loves it. It's just you never know that feeling. I don't want you to know that feeling, but like you just want to teleport time because you're waiting for something to play out. So there's another thing. So he's basically saying, I've got a leverage long. I'm just going to come and teleport, and it's either up or down. So it is tapping into the gambler mentality as well. But we're not in leverage stuff like that. We're in further down the risk curve stuff, which takes longer to activate, but there's benefit to that. You don't have a liquidation point. Okay. Cold. Yeah, bro. Kanye has no choice but to pump the coin or he'll get cancelled. I doubt he'd risk that. So it's obviously friends making a joke that people are saying, oh, like Kanye has to pump his coin. And then like we're all joking like, you mean the guy has been talking about the Jews every 15 minutes, yelling into the open space? You think he cares about getting cancelled? It's just the delusion, man, from people long. Man, it was $1. James Wynn bought at $1.40. Now it's at 80 cents. My gosh, bro. He bought it here and said, it's kind of funny. Friends, this is a Cabal coin. And James Wynn said, the Cabal doesn't want you to buy Yeezy because it's taken away from their other scams. No, we saw the addresses. It's links to the Libra scam money as well. Here is BoldLeonidas. This is Kanye West's logo. He goes, buy, sell. So he's made the Kanye West logo. He's tilted it to the left, the Yeezy coin, and it looks like a chart that's gone buy, sell. It's gone like a chart going down and to the right now. So just having fun there. Shout out to Vidiboo. Up only very soon. Pulse Chain will outpace the broader space. I hope so, sir. We've only been waiting over 4 years. Here we have Tiffany Fong. Women need more sleep because we are trucking annoying. Women need more sleep because they use their brains more. So probably just rage baiting people out here. A lot of simps and stuff. Like, God bless you, man. You know, like God's just like basically, he's got a casino open. He's like, you know what, man? I can't guarantee you that all these slot machines are going to pay you out on your first spin. But if you just sit down, money's going to rain from the heavens. That's literally the crypto industry altcoins right now. They're all so cheap. So you shouldn't be wasting your time with like, you know, this type of normie content out here and getting baited by the other simp material. Oh, who's your friend Sommi here? Pulse Chain, Binance, happy HyperLoop day. Thank you to Mr. Vexican. So friends, Binance posted a HyperLoop. Infinite potential, infinite innovation. Happy Bitcoin Infinite Day. It's a sideways HyperLoop. Bitcoin posted this image yesterday. Binance. I replied with the second image. Now they just posted this. So, you know, Binance intern. Hello to you and everybody out there in Binance land. Shout out to Kale who unfollowed me because he doesn't understand what the highest value content in crypto does, which is find highest value content in crypto, find deep value, undervalued stuff, and play the whole cycle for the highest return. Even though we just saw XRP literally crush everyone else out here, but he's now posting it. I was curious, so I looked up jail stool. LMFAO. Fart coin really is going to $10. No one will ever buy a celeb or a new coin in general again. Kanye was the last straw. So this is Dave Portnoy's one of his rug coins. Remember, he did this coin and then he Greed 2. Is it Greed 3? I don't know. I just have it. It's just so funny, friends. Like, please, you got to drop Greed 3. We want Greed 3. They just, oh my gosh, man. Friends, I have some just-in news from Arthur Gaze, our favorite bear. He's now bullish, okay? So he's straight again. Arthur Hayes, are you ready to lube up your J-hole? You got to love the guy. He's literally a billionaire. I got to remind you. They they put him in jail. So people think they put him in jail because of the BitMEX forced liquidations. It wasn't really that. That was half of it. The real reason is he poked the bear because he went on stage. He was debating Nouriel Roubini, and he said, look, guys, the US government can be bribed too. It's just in Bahamas, we bribe them with a coconut. You just got to know how to bribe the US politicians the right way. So that was the poking. They're like, oh, let's take down this guy's foreign exchange. Yeah, that's funny. That's why I use a coconut emoji next to Arthur Hayes' thing. So it's kind of funny. Right? He's a multi-billionaire and he's talking like he's talking like me, and it is funny. Are you ready to lube up your J-hole? Will Jerome Powell cut and become Trump's twink? Or will he choose violence, becoming Paul Volcker 2.0? Reminder, in the 1980s, we had sky-high inflation. We had the baby boomers having all the kids coming out. So Paul Volcker had to raise interest rates mega aggressively. Rates were like 7 or 8%, and it wasn't high enough. And then Arthur Burns, the Fed chairman, he didn't want to raise them up higher than like 7%. He did not want to do that. But inflation was like 9%. So then Paul Volcker came in and he raised it up to 12, then 14 and 15, whatever they were, just huge 18% rates. He forced a recession to reset all the price level growth. That's why he's saying, so is major loser Powell, is he going to be Trump's twink with the chain, the dog collar chain? Okay, is he going to be twinked, or is he going to be Paul Volcker 2.0? Which one's he going to be? Arthur Hayes, I don't want any interest rate cuts because it forces Trump to get funky with the money printer button. Just like bad girl Yellen in 2022, as she issues more bills and bonds to drain the reverse repo after Jay Powell refused to cut. Wonderful. So what he's saying is, if major loser Powell continues being a major loser and doesn't cut, what he's saying is the government, they're going to do the roundabout way of money printing. And he wants to see that happen, I guess. So that'll be interesting. It would be in our best interest to see that. Why? Because no one's ever seen it before in the last cycle. So once it starts working, people might think it's magic again. Just like the QE money printing. Friends, remember we all thought Bitcoin's going 100K because infinite QE money printing? Didn't happen. So if this is not QE, but it's just another form that people can't understand yet, it just increases the odds that we could see sky-high buying, emotional buying, and then people think, they're going to cut rates soon, and rates are going to go to zero, so we're just getting started here. And we're saying, no, actually, they might cut and the economy's tanking and the bear market's actually started. So we'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button all, and you and I are still going to make it. Catch you soon.